Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste and welcome everyone to Satsang today. Sadguru Sri Muji Baba Ki Jai. Good, good, good. I can hear my throat is a bit gone. Not that I used it much. Okay, Raja wants to come. You can come.
Namaste, Ananta-ji.
Namaste, namaste, my dear.
Quite your feet, Ananta-ji.
Thank
Thank you
you,
very
thank
much.
you, thank you.
So, I think I was the person who had asked the question that you had kindly addressed at the last satsang that I missed via Facebook, which was, the question about I'm aware of my awareness, and then is that is that at some point I'm handing it over to my brain to process as opposed to just being aware.
Yes,
And I was wondering if we could look at that a little bit.
yes, yes. So basically, what I'm saying is that it's not about what you know, it's about how you know it. So, and that's why this question, "Are you aware now?" is so potent, because you cannot know it except intuitively, and you may know it conceptually. You may have heard it in satsang, but if you're answering truly and honestly, you know it only through intuitive insight. You see, so So first, can we confirm this, that when you say I am aware of my awareness, it is not through any perceptual means, or you're not relying on any learned knowledge for this confirmation?
Yes, it is. It is an. It is just a knowing. It's just a. I just know that I'm aware, and it's
Yes,
not
yes,
coming from any perceptive elements from the outside world.
yes, yes. And nor is it just something that you heard from the masters, so you're not just parroting it. It is a true insight, you see. But it is strange in the way that everything else you have to either have perceived or have got the concept from some credible source to be able to confirm, isn't it?
Right.
So this is unique. Your awareness, you see, or your intuitive insight into your nature as awareness is a unique knowledge, because for everything else, like I take the example, I say, what color is this phone? You see? Yeah. No, Siri is trying to answer. Okay. So you would say red, you see, or whatever you can see through the screen, because you saw it perceptually. You see? Now, if I tell you that, no, actually it is green, you would be willing to argue with me and say, no, Anantaji, something is wrong. You need to get your eye checked because this phone is red. You see? Because you had that perceptual knowledge that it is red. You see? But for this awareness, you see, it is the only, you see, only thing like this thing, provisionally speaking, where you can confirm its truth without needing to go to perception or without needing to go to any other source of information. Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
So now there is no need to understand this here. You see, there is no need to bring it up to the mind and say, do you really get it? In what way do you get it? You see? And then all your learned baggage can come into the picture, and this will say, no, I get this because of like this, and then because like that, you see. Then all the history and the narrative and all of that structure can come into play. But there is no need to actually bring it up to the head. You see? So self-knowledge is as simple as that. You don't need to do anything with it. You don't need to try and use it, or to try to improve your life, or try to be enlightened, or try to be in a state of bliss, any of that. You see, that's why often I say truth for truth's sake. You see, what's the point of this? Only that it is true. That's the only point. You see, now what confusion can remain?
I think
Ah, very good. Very, very. You see, and remember my pointer that when you hear but, it is just the mind knocking. You see, it's just the mind knocking thing. May I come in, please? But. Now, okay, let me see if I can clarify this some more. So so now there is intuitive clarity about awareness. You see? Now, what is it to you? Is it like you visited a place and then you saw a mountain, you see, and therefore I am aware of the perception of a mountain, you see? So, what is the relationship now between you and this discovery as of awareness?
there isn't any objective relationship. It is just it is just it is just me. It's
Yes,
just
yes,
just a it's just there isn't anything with me as a person. It's just me. It's just there.
yes, yes, yes. Mhm. And you see that me as a person is only a bundle of objective relationships.
Yeah.
There is no tangible entity like me. It's just like you were writing a book, and in the book you said, okay, this one lived in Nigeria, and this one had 5 children, and this one had, you see. So all of these objective relationships make up this non-existent character in the book, you see, and you may give it whatever name you like. And we've been living in this fictional idea about ourselves, this character, this narrative in the mind of consciousness, you see, but but there is nothing to it except these ideas, except these conceptual relationships, you see, and therefore that which is made up of notions can itself only be a notion. So we don't need to bring some clarity to this me, to dissolve this me, to ignore this me. We don't have to do anything like that. As it is getting clarified that this awareness itself is you, you don't have to fix the non-existent.
Or follow the thread of belief into the non-existence, basically.
Huh? Or follow
Or
the
follow
thread.
the thread of belief that
Of course, of
comes
course,
up through the, yeah.
of course. Because this objective set of notions which seem to define the me is only a set of beliefs. You see? You cannot have a belief and then say, I will not create any objective relationships. A belief is giving truth value to a notion, you see, which creates this relationship. See, so we don't need to put this sort of discovery into any narrative, into any past, future. You see, it is not about Raja coming to satsang, getting a hold of this discovery, and then holding on to it forever or something like that. See, that was just the sideshow. That's just the sideshow. Good. Very, very
Thank you, Natasha.
good. So happy we were finally able to catch each other in this way.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Yes, yes. I kept missing for a long time.
It's fine.
It's wonderful. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Okay, I see Rashmi next. Yes, my dear, can you say something?
Hi, Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste, my dear. Namaste.
Guruji, I wanted to ask you on Friday Satsang, you spoke about attention,
Yeah.
and that has totally confused me. I,
Aha. That got
I,
your attention.
yeah,
Okay, what happened? Tell me more.
over the weekend, I saw the video again twice. So, how does one know that it's no longer the attention?
Aha.
That
Yes,
is
yes.
where I'm confused. Yeah.
This is very
If
good. This is
you
my favorite topic, actually.
if
This is
you
my
could
favorite
help me.
topic. I'm very happy to help you with this. In fact, this is the main thing I'm speaking of. You see. So I'm happy in a way that this confusion got created, because what that implies is that there was a confusion already present, that our search for the self is going to be something that will culminate in an experience. Confirm this if we're going on the right track. You see, so attention means what? Means perception. You see, what do you get with attention? You get perceptions. So now when you heard that the self will not be found using your attention, you're basically realizing that it is never going to be a perception or an experience or a state. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So but this is fundamental to Vedanta, no? Every perception comes and goes. Everything that comes will go.
Yes.
You see, and the bane of most spiritual seekers, including this one who used to search for the self, was the same thing. I had heard that it's never going to be a perception. So what I was expecting was a super perception of some sort. You see, one day I will come across a super perception, and then that will be perceived, but it will not be a perception anymore. That will be the self, isn't it? So now, when that idea is shaken, you see, that I am searching for myself in this sort of way, then it can feel like, but if it is not this way, then which way can it be? Isn't it?
Yes.
You see? Because it can feel like, what else do I have to be able to search? If
Right.
not with attention, then with what? With me. I'm not just speaking to the Zoom crowd. Yeah? So So, because this is very, very important. No? So, she's saying, I got really confused because you said you can't find it with attention. You see? And I'm saying that we've always been told that it will never be a perception. You see, but now when it is hitting us directly in the face, we're just like, then how do I look? Tell me if that is not your predicament.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
that's exactly how it is.
yes. Very good, very good. So, so I feel we understand the part about conceptual knowledge well enough. So I won't, and I've talked about it long enough. So I won't digress into that. You see, now that is why I've given you the hammer. No, the hammer is a question like, "Are you aware now?" You see, what is your response to this?
Yes,
Yes. Now, did you use perception to recognize this awareness?
no,
No. Then what did you use?
it's just natural.
Hmm.
It's
What
just
do you mean
there.
natural? What do you
It's
mean?
you cannot not be aware.
Yes. How do you know this?
It's just known.
It just is, it just is. So that just is or just is known is what we are calling intuitive insight.
Okay. So how will I tell that beyond a certain point, it's not the attention?
Yes, because you just check, no? We can check again. This awareness, is it something like content which is coming to you through your attention?
No, no.
This is the critical point, you see. This is the main point because all of the spiritual struggle is to try and find it in some way, as if you're looking for some special thing, special object, you see. And because that is the way we've learned how to search. But this search is not that way. And if you understand, if all of you here understand that it is not that way, you cannot find it perceptually and you cannot figure it out in your head, you see, then at least the ones who are here today cannot really struggle. If you take my words to heart, you cannot spiritually struggle, you see. Then of course you may struggle with what to do after that, but that's for later, you see. Okay. So now that you recognize that your confirmation of this awareness does not need any sort of objective perception, you see, and it just is so apparent, it's so clear, you see. Can you confirm from the same space of insight, that same intuitive insight, that this can never change? Again, don't go to your mind because your mind will make it a different sort of question. In the same space that you are aware, you see, that you are able to confirm that you are aware. Now, okay, let me ask a simpler one first. So, what can appear as a perception to make an impact or a dent on that awareness?
I can't say.
Like right now, anything in front of you, can it touch that awareness? Anything
No,
that you perceive, can it touch awareness?
no.
That much is enough. That much is enough for now. To see that this realm of perception, you see, is not powerful enough to make a dent or a scratch on this awareness. You see, because it's not in the same plane at all. You see, and if these words are making you visualize, then forget about it. We can don't have to worry about creating any sort of imagery about this. Just innocently, like a child, we need to look. Now, uh, what needs to happen to Rashmi, or what understanding does she need to have now to be free?
Nothing.
And if a lot of confusion comes, what is the confusion? Like two opposing concepts are playing around in our intellect, you see, and sometimes this seems plausible, sometimes this feels plausible. That is confusion, isn't it? You see, but what I'm showing you is beyond intellect, so it doesn't matter what is playing around in the intellect, or if there are 100 confusions there, it doesn't really matter, doesn't it?
So it just is.
It just is. It just is. Now this it, how is it related to you?
That is who I am.
Yes. Yes. You don't sound confused at all to me.
No, you made it so clear now.
Yeah.
You put it so simply and you just cleared it. So
But I want to caution you against one thing, that we may use the words for some momentary intellectual clarity so it can seem to settle down for a moment. But I'm not really aiming for that, because that is an impossible goal. You see, your intellect is like a leaky roof. You may keep fixing it over and over again, but some notion will come and create a hole again. And then if you start chasing conceptual clarity, then it's like chasing the mirage. You see, it never happens. It is just to transcend the intellect, to let go of it.
okay.
You see, so you can have confusion in the level of intellect. You see, so leave the intellect be. You see, it doesn't matter to me whether you're clear in your intellect or you're confused in your intellect, because the intellect is full of lies anyway. So how would you like your lies? I say, no, these days, would you like your lies all clear, or you like them all scattered around and confused?
Let them be confused. I don't care.
I don't care. No, I don't care if they are in a coherent set, or they are just all over the place. It doesn't really matter, because the point of spirituality is not to come to intellectual clarity. That is another way in which seekers struggle. You see, I thought I was clear that there is one Brahman, and then there's Nirguna, and then there's Saguna, and then in the Saguna, the play of Ishvara happens, then there's a play of Jivatma, then the Jivatma has to recognize that it is Paramatma. You see, you can create a sort of conceptual paradigm of all of this, but that is really not needed.
ठीक है. ठीक है. That is so good, Father. Thank you so much, Guruji.
So welcome.
Really, you really just help out so well. Your pointings are so simple, so nice. Thank you so much. And
You're
please, please don't leave me, Guruji, please.
It's not possible, my dear, not possible.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So welcome, so welcome. Thank you. Very good, very good. Okay. Okay, let's hear Niranjan has his hand up.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, my dear.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, namaste, my dear.
How are you?
Very good, very good.
I have nothing to say or ask or anything because whatever comes up strongly, I keep writing to you. So
Yeah.
maybe I hope I am not writing very frequently
No, it's
at,
fine, it's fine.
at your end.
As long as You don't feel that father doesn't respond always and things, because I get too many messages to be able to always respond. As long as that expectation is not there, I'm very happy to read through.
It's not here because it's not possible for you to not respond.
Yeah.
And a response doesn't necessarily, need to be written or something like that.
Right.
Even your reading is also a response. So it's
Thank
so. Maybe you can ask something, or maybe if you have felt somewhere while reading the messages that uh, you you want to, like you want to advise or guide or something like that.
you. I read through them and they're fine. I don't feel like I need to intervene. This is the Master's grace is flowing beautifully, and it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So,
Because sometimes, when you have a blind spot, it's always better to
yeah, yeah,
uh, ask someone, because others can see it easily and you cannot see it.
I will make sure I point it out if I see one. I'll make sure. I'll make sure to. Just, I'm happy that you seem to be at ease and everything seems to be good. So, all my love, all my blessings are with you.
Father, it's actually like the thing that happened here, like with the depression and all those things. But it's like I am so grateful for those things, because they have really, they have really shown something. So in fact, many times when you, like you say, your arch nemesis is the checker guy.
Yes, yes.
So here I find the arch nemesis is the feeling of specialness.
Ah,
You know, like it's like, because this one perhaps was a, studious kind of a
ah,
person throughout, and people also keep telling you the, oh, you are a ranker, or you are
mm,
so out of the world, and how do you achieve all those things, and so those things tend to develop a identity of specialness. And when here at least it played, maybe a bit strong. So when you think you are very special, on the flip side you develop a big fear, right? Because then it becomes a huge burden, you know so it's like you cannot be second, you always have to be first. And that's not possible. I mean, in the design of the this play, it's impossible task. So you have continuous a fear in the background or in the depths of your being, and that manifested as depression, or at least this seems to me that this is how it could have happened. Like it's sort of a self psychoanalysis kind of thing that happened one day here. So so and when that is seen, it relieves that depression a lot. But it's like you have touched the root, the root of the weeds, you know so and that it has helped a lot, because when after this realization things keep happening.
yes, yes. I did. Something has gone wrong with your internet?
Yeah, it appears that the bandwidth is low here.
Acha,
Am I
acha.
audible, Father?
You're audible. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it has helped, because when this realization changes, like what is observed here is that so many, even intellectual clarity around so many things has happened over here. So, and that can take you into again that feeling of specialness, but
Mm,
because you are already burned in that aspect, so it helps a lot. Because like I wrote you about the energy episodes and all those things, and like the capacity to work is like anything,
Yes.
because like you don't feel tired, and those things can bring specialness again.
Yes.
But it's like you have experienced that one, so
Yes.
it protects you from spiritual ego, so to speak.
Good. Good.
So
Mhm.
maybe that's how
Okay.
it's playing here.
Good. 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 I'm happy to see you, my dear. All my love.
Thank you. Thank you,
Good.
Father.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Good. I see Shubha. Shubha next. Namaste, my dear.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
I I don't know what to say actually. It's whatever I come up with, I see it's from the mind.
Mm.
Seems like no point saying, and that's how I've been avoiding exposing myself. I felt it for all these years with Muji. Also, I never came up, uh, never exposed myself, and there's something hiding there. I know that. I just want to expose it and
Yes.
put it at your
So
feet.
this is a good one. This is a good one to expose. But presume that this is gone now. Presume that this is gone. This game of hiding and seeking. You see, hide and seek is over. Now, now you're on the hot seat now, and you said that whatever I can say is from the mind, and without even worrying about that, tell me something about you which is independent of your mind.
It can't be put in words.
Hmm. But is it apparent to you?
Yeah,
Yes. Is it apparent that it is you?
yeah.
Yeah. That's very good. Then you don't need to worry about the smaller games. You see, it doesn't matter so much.
And you
Does
just
the
let the
content?
mind go on with its games and
Yeah. So, does,
dishonesty and
let's.
arrogance.
So, you know, I live in Bangalore, and my house used to be the older airport was right next to my house. You see, so what would happen is that when I moved here, then the flight traffic was not so much, but over the years, every minute there was a flight. You see, but after a while, I couldn't hear it. You see, it's not that the flights stopped flying or they just stopped making noise. It was just
Yeah,
because there was no inclination towards them. There was no interest towards them, so it didn't matter. And whether they made noise every minute or not was not so relevant. So you're getting the analogy, yes?
yeah, yeah. Is
Is it?
that, all these years, that's what I thought, that it doesn't matter. I can see it, and I'm not getting affected by it, and so there's no trouble. But somehow I still feel that it just keeps growing in that hiding.
Uh-huh.
So I just wanted to expose it and put it before you.
Yes, 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 yes. That's fine. To surrender it is beautiful, but to expect the leopard to change its spots is not needed. It is the nature of the mind to sell you ideas about yourself which are not true, you see. And if you keep waiting for the mind to conform or to confirm your true insight about yourself, then that can be a multi lifetime wait. I'm sure you don't want to wait that long.
Yeah.
You see? So let it go on with its games. You see? Let it go on with its games. You don't bother with it.
Okay.
do you feel that one day the mind will be able to conceptualize some truth and give it to you?
No, no.
You see? So,
Yeah, that's again one part of the mind says no, but the other part keeps trying always to conceptualize, find more clarity. As you said yesterday, to fit it previously as to fit it into your head and fit it into your understanding, and that effort is on, and it somehow sometimes says, it seems to say that the joy I get in the clarity, when you get a clear, something gets clear and there's joy in it, and so it's worth pursuing. And so that sometimes keeps you hooked on to that pursuit. And how do I get out of that?
yes. So let me ask you a difficult question. If there was joy in lies, would you still pursue them?
Yeah. No, actually, I
You
mean,
wouldn't. You
the most
wouldn't.
logical answer to that is no, but I see myself doing that still. I mean, you wonder, why do you do it when you know it's not true, but you do it? Why?
And the thing is that actually it's only a promise of joy. It doesn't actually become an attainment of any sort of true joy. Maybe just sometimes the play of the knotting up because we have a desire, you see, and the opening up of that knot can seem to provide some momentary relief at times, you see, but it is only dependent on our picking up the desire in the first place, you see. So there's no real joy to be found. You're only knotting yourself up and returning to your naturalness, your desirelessness, and that can feel like it provides some relief. But as you get used to just naturally remaining in your notionless existence, then you would not need to play that game.
Yeah. So is there any practice you would suggest for me?
Just remain open and empty. You see? Remain open and empty. And then when you pick up something, then you don't have to get into a postmortem and say, no, why did I pick it up? Ananta had said, don't pick up, remain open and empty. None of that. Just when you recognize you picked up something, just come back to open and empty.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the biggest issue is that you forget this, because otherwise the discovery is so simple. All you have to do is just remember, and it's there.
The thing is, that is not the issue, in the sense that when you've forgotten about it, then you've forgotten about it. You see? Now, when you remember it again, you see what happens most of the time is we beat ourselves up over it, saying, I shouldn't have forgotten, this is such a problem, you see? So it is that which causes more trouble, you see? So you remember it and then you forget about it, just forget.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
You see, to remain open and empty is to not be part of any narrative. You see, to not be part of any mental narrative. You see? So if you insert that remaining open and empty also in a narrative of forgetting and remembering, then that is not open and empty enough. You see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I'll just keep exposing myself. I hope you just, whatever. I feel the need to keep exposing, so I'll keep coming to you. And I'm not in India right now, but when I come to India, I would like to meet you once.
Yes, you're very welcome. It's your own home.
So where can I see you? Where do you live? I don't know.
I stay in Bangalore, and we can. Are you on Facebook, or how are you getting information about?
I'm not on Facebook really. I see your YouTube videos.
I see. So how do you get information about satsang and
from the YouTube? I get that go to the link, so it allows me to go to the Facebook page and see the day and get the link for this. So I just get the link without being on Facebook.
I see. So we must find a way. Do you know anyone else in the Sangha we find a way for you to keep in touch with us. And
No,
if you're visiting India, are you going to be visiting soon?
not before April.
Okay, okay, okay. So we'll figure out a way to be in touch before that, and
Sure,
we must definitely meet when you're here. If you visit Bangalore, for sure.
sure, I will. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Good, good, good. Okay, okay. I see Kamala next.
Hello.
Hello, my dear. Namaste. It's not so
Hi there.
so clear, my dear.
Can
It's
you hear me?
your
I have some strange
ah,
headphones.
this is
Better like
this is
this?
very good. Yes, yes, yes.
Greetings from Sahaja. It is so nice to reconnect with you like this. I can't hear you now.
Probably because
Ah,
I'm not saying much,
okay.
but
I I wanted to say thank you to Yelena also, who is there with you, because she
yeah.
brought this connection back. And
Wonderful.
it's just, yeah, it's beautiful to hear the same words again from you, and just they're bypassing the mind constantly and landing straight into the heart. And
Very
yeah,
good.
just to say hi and thank you and I love you, and we
Oh, I
all
love
do
it.
here.
What is the last one? What is the last thing you
We
said?
all do. We speak of you here often. We mention you and we send you
Yes.
our love. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, dear.
Blessing to everyone there, to Jotima also, and everyone, Radha, and the whole Sangha. Love you so much. Thank you.
Good, very good. So nice. And thank you for bringing Sahaja into the satsang. Thank you, mother.
Yeah, it's always the same. Thank you.
Love you, love you. Thank you. Okay, I see Anka. 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 You can help me with the pronunciation first.
Yes. Hi, Ananta. Anka is okay. Um, I would like to check in with you and to look at something. The last time we spoke, you said to me, or you suggested, if there's intense feeling, just to try to feel it in the spaciousness of being, just to allow it to be there. And yeah, I did that also. And what I found is that there's still a fight going on inside, and I can see that there are these thoughts coming, labeling the sensations, and yet sometimes, and maybe this is also just a thought, I have the notion that I'm not fully understanding where this identification is coming from or how it reshapes. And maybe it's just the thought which I'm believing, and then the suffering continues. I don't know really if you can help me with this one.
I just want to say that there's some noise that comes from point to point. Is it because something is not so tightly put? The headphones jack is a bit loose, or you can try a bit. So it will help me hear you better. Yeah. Something is shaky there. It seems okay for the moment. It's fine. If nothing can be
Okay.
done, it's fine. So this fight that happens, what is the location of it?
I cannot really point a specific location. It's just I can only say where the sensations are felt,
I see.
but I cannot
So,
really say. Yeah.
so if there are sensations, you see, some contraction, some other contraction, contraction colliding with contraction, you see, does that just contraction, contraction, all the sensation, is that what you mean by fight?
Yes, and because the story, there's a
Yes.
story,
Yes.
of course.
So without the story, can there be a fight?
I still feel yes,
Yes.
somehow.
So we should really look at this, no? So let's say in pure perception is what I call it, no? The storyless perception, you see, storyless perception. Now, what has to appear here, you see, that without the story becomes an attack or a fight?
Can you say it again, please?
Yes.
I couldn't really
So,
get.
so okay, let me expand on that a bit. So, in your being, you have this seeming outside world. Yes. Now, in this outside world, if there was no story, but there was something showing up, you see, without the story, what could cause trouble?
Yeah, it couldn't. It
It
couldn't
could.
cause trouble. No.
Okay. So then the next level of your existence, let's say, is the layer of the body. You see, at the body layer. So at the body layer, some sensations, pain, pleasure, all of this can come, and recall the innocence of a child, where there was a child in satsang on Friday, and one moment he was crying, the next moment he was laughing. There was no story, and there was no suffering. Pain and pleasure was naturally there, but there
Yeah.
was no fight. There was no psychological struggle. You see, so I'm giving the answer along with the question, which is a bit unfair, but would you see it like that?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. You see, now let's say we go a level deeper and we go to the level of, let's leave thought aside, let's go to emotion. You see, emotion, there's some emotion, anger, what we call anger, but we are not labeling for the moment. You see, there's some anger, then moments later there's some joy, then there's some neutrality where you can't really place what emotion is there. Now, without the labels and the story, can it become a fight?
No.
See? Are you saying no because you know it's the right answer, or you see it, like that?
I see it
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it's not possible, but there's still so much like these voices inside just
yeah.
rebelling against this. So
Yes, of course, of course. It is his job, so don't worry. It will do that. You see? It usually will not accept the words of satsang and say, "Come, come, I'm waiting for you." It is going to rebel against it. It is going to fight. You see. So, but we are recognizing the playground of the fight. No, we are recognizing clearly the playground of the fight. And then if you go beyond even emotion, then you come to pure presence and beingness, and you realize that, of course, it is not possible to have any sort of fight or struggle over there. So all of this exercise was done so that we can localize and we can see that the location of this conflict is just in our mind, you see. Now, what can the mind tell you so that there is conflict or struggle or fight?
I have an idea for this. It's like this. There's this subtle. There's this expectation that after some years of going to satsang and participating in satsang, there shouldn't be this energetic pain on a daily basis anymore. So this is the yeah
Very good.
suggestion of the mind.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So, in a way, what I was going to say is that the mind has all of the proposals for better. You see? Now, better sounds like a good idea, but the problem with better is that it resists what is.
Yeah.
You see? Now, because you have gone to satsang, therefore you should not be in this kind of pain anymore. It is an idea of how your life should be better or how things should be better. But subtly, it is only job is to resist what is.
Mhm.
You see? And in this humble sounding notion of better, these proposals of better, we become inadvertently, you see, not inadvertently as consciousness, but as part of the play, inadvertently in opposition to what is. You see? So this resistance or opposition to what is called the ego. You see? And that is why the advice last time was to see that for what is actually existent, which is your being, you see, no sensation or perception needs to come or go. It is fine with whatever is there. You see, it is only this self-image called the ego, which self-image is like a shape, which says, in my perception, I only want good stuff. I don't want this so-called bad stuff. You see, it picks and chooses, and that picking and choosing is suffering.
Yes.
You see, and then what happens is we come to satsang and we hear some opposing concepts, and then it can seem like there is a set of concepts and there's an opposing set of concepts, and then both can get into a fight. You see,
Yeah.
you see, sometimes you'll hear the master's words, which the mind can replay also, and say, you see, it's saying something, then it's saying, okay, also replaying the master's word just to put you into a resistive state.
Yeah.
You see, now if you were to leave that playground where the fight is happening, you see, then can you struggle?
I need to feel it out. No, there's no struggle. It's just that the sensations are here and it's still
Yes,
uncomfortable.
yes. But these labels, they belong to the image that you have about yourself, you see,
Mm.
because the mind is convinced you that this should not be.
Yes. Yes.
And therefore, it can feel like you're only getting somewhere if these sensations are going away.
Yes.
You see? So it is
Yes.
put you in this scale of better, you'll get better if these go away, which is a, which is a setup for failure again.
And it also is it always brings this identity of a victim immediately as soon as this sensation is here. And then this fight or this trying to coming out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can never fix the problem at that level. You see, no problem actually can be fixed at the level at which it is created. So you just have to transcend it. So we're not trying to fix the mind, heal the mind, make the mind quieter, none of that. The mind can be whatever it wants to be. You see, what percentage of your being does your mind take up?
Right now I can say it's just the sensation that seems to be quite taking a lot of space
Okay,
of
okay.
in the being.
I'll give you a tip.
Yeah.
You see, for a moment now, just don't even label it a sensation. Don't know what it is at all. Just be completely open, not with an expectation that it will go away. You see, just fully open, and just whatever is appearing is so much in your attention that you don't have any attention left to go to a label and say this is what it is. whatever is showing up is fully in your attention. You see, now this what is showing up can only hurt that which it is touching, isn't it? It cannot hurt that which it is not touching. Now, that which it is touching, can it be hurt?
What do you mean by touching?
Okay. Let me say that in which it is appearing, that is what it is touching, no? Like at its boundary, there's just this space of being.
Yeah.
So I was trying to avoid as many labels as possible, but maybe just to clarify, you see. Now just go back, you can try and forget about these labels for a moment. Just go back to your pure, just giving your attention to whatever is showing up and see if you can find that which is actually hurt by it.
That which is seeing it, you mean? If this
Can you
is
find
hurt?
can you find anything that is hurt by it? This is the quote unquote sensation.
No.
You see, so can you find the one that the mind is trying to protect?
No.
Are you affected in any way if this continued to remain like this?
No.
You see, now create an image of yourself that is affected by it. Use thoughts, use ideas, actively resist it.
It cannot do it right.
This is when you invite it, then it seems difficult. You see, when you invite it to come, let's create the self-image, let's play with that for a bit so that something can be hurt with these sensations. Otherwise, these sensations are going to waste. You see? So invite it to come. Again, try. Use 10 thoughts. Just pick up 10 thoughts. Just believe them. I'm here with you. Nothing will happen. Don't worry. Pick up 10 ideas about yourself and do it. This is reverse satsang. Tell me when you succeeded.
It's not happening. Yeah. So it is, Ananta, it is really when these thoughts come and I believe them, then it creates this this fight. It gives reality to to this.
Yes. So remember, my tip is that nothing in pure perception can cause any suffering. You see? To suffer, you need an idea. And when you're open, just like you check, you see, when you're really open, you see, then you can even invite and say, okay, what is this? But in your openness, you see, in your acceptance, in your openness, even this play cannot happen. You see?
Now all these thoughts are coming, like I hope that next time when it comes, but it's already like
Yes.
also creating this victim
Exactly.
again. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
It tries to pull you back in time. So sometimes I say that if you're in satsang with me, forget about either time or space. Pick one. I'm not asking you to do both.
Yeah. Okay.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your openness, my dear. Thank you. Very good. Okay, I see Isha.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste, my dear.
Do you hear me, Ananta?
I hear you. I hear you well.
Okay, because my headphone has an issue. Long time no see. So happy you
Thank
again. So
you.
Anantaji, actually, what I wanted also to share is very much the same as Anka just did. So it was as if I was actually talking with you.
Yes, yes, yes.
So not sure what I want to say at the moment, but it feels like when doing the exercise, this space opens and everything is fine. And as I start going about my day, there are so many activities, and I quickly just jump into the regular being as a person and being reactive to the circumstances. And just such a conflict, and there is sometimes a lot more in the circumstances. There is a lot more unkindness and confusions happens that it just seems unavoidable to jump into the fights. This seems like
So
and
this is
if
good.
I
We can pause here. We can pause here for a moment, my dear. Otherwise, I'll forget what you said earlier. So this part is good. Now, so say tomorrow you go to work, you see, and you forget, you get back into identity, you become unkind, all of those things happen, you see. Now, what is the best gift you can give yourself now so that tomorrow the one that is going to show up and have this life, you see, can be a little more open and empty? That should be the question, isn't it? We obviously cannot solve it for that one tomorrow. We cannot jump in time and go to that moment and say, hey, you see, who are you really? You see? But you're here now. So what can this one who's here now, what gift can you give that one who will be there tomorrow? So let me give you some options. Yes. Will worry about what that one will do, will that be the best gift?
No.
You see? No concern, no worry about that one will be, in fact, it may add to that fear and energy of that movement out of beingness into identity, isn't it? So if I was to suggest to you that the only gift you can give to that one tomorrow is for you to be open and empty now.
Mm-hmm.
You see, to be open and empty now. So whenever you remember that there are times that you go into identity, you see, you don't sit and worry about that and say, when will that get fixed and when will I change? All of that. Instead, you become open and empty right there and then, because that is the only gift you can give to that one. The mind will try to convince you that you need to solve that problem in some other way. You see, but there is no other way. You see, it is just to create a naturalness around being open and empty. Every time that you do remember, you see, if you can remember to remain open and empty, then that will start extending towards every aspect of your life. But if you want to, when you remember that the truth and the spiritual pointings, if your mind immediately takes you to the future or the past, you see, then it has brought that contamination into your openness and emptiness even right now. So what you are to do is to bring your openness into those moments now and not bring that contamination into your openness now. You see, then you will see that all of these projections of past and future are just a mind attack trying to get you away from your openness, which is naturally present. Because you're trying to fix it for some non-existent one. You see, who could be a dream entity, who cares? Maybe I've gone too far with that one, but the rest of it was clear. No?
No, it is clear. Yeah.
Yeah. So the best way to heal your past is to be open and empty now. The best way not to fall into egoic identity in the future is to be open and empty now. For the mind, it will sound too simplistic. It may feel like, but I have a real problem. You see, you need to solve it somehow. But this is the only solution. And remember, one, as you're assimilating this, I can see that it's being heard in the heart, so that is good. But remember that you are not to make a thermometer reading every time and saying, today I'm being so much open, but at work I was a bit closed, and then with my relationship I was a bit like this. You're not to do all that exercise. It's not for you to do.
Mm-hmm.
The grace that is guiding you, it is that grace's job to do all of this. That grace knows what has to be taken care of. So what to do? Just be open and empty. Without, without being open and empty. You know what I mean? No posturing, no position. Open and empty is not a position.
And it feels more than ever that the person is so crippled and it's like has no idea anymore how to
Okay.
go out and
What is the state of that man who's sitting right next to you?
sorry,
What is the state of the man sitting right next to you?
the man,
Yeah.
which there's no
So all the reports about the person are also like that.
okay.
They're,
Okay.
they're just imaginary. Just imagine. There is no entity like the person. But I love the innocence that she actually looked. She actually looked. And that is called trust. That is called trust in the master. I like that very much.
But thank you so much,
No, so
Anantaji.
welcome. So welcome, my dear. So welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. Louder so maybe they can hear you. Yeah. 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 So it can only hurt that which it is touching or no? Unless it's got some superpowers where it can just teleport and do. No. So what is it touching the emotion? What is it in contact with? What space is it appearing in? Okay, let's say it's the space of awareness. So this awareness, can it be hurt by it? Then who is it hurting? Yeah. 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 And father is what? No, father, let's be clear about this. No, what we mean by father is doing. Father is what? Father is your being. It is not this man. No? I was going to say boy as usual, but now with the gray hair, it's man. Father is doing it, but father is your own beingness, your holy presence. Yes. The problem with that is that it will say only when you are here in front, only then can it be this spacious. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Even the perception of the body in front of you that you could call master, father, is where? Inside. Something is the mind, and don't go for the mind's acceptance. Tell me if it's something else. The one who's saying, which one is that? Yes. Yes. Yeah. A perception in itself, can we ever call it a resistance? What is recognizing all of this? The answering and all of that we can come to later. It's you or no? So that you that is aware of these perceptions that you're perceiving, what can we say about that one? Now, is there another you? Then who has a problem? The mind, for example, is whose problem? There's nothing to solve. Don't accept any conclusion. It's these conclusions which give you shape. No? Not really, but apparently. Allow yourself to wobble if you have to, being without any ground to stand on. Stay, it's okay. Don't hold a branch. Don't run. What happened? Yeah. Yeah. He'll throw something at you which we've nurtured a lot in the past, like your biggest experience or your biggest problem or something. Huh? Huh? Just in the perception of it. Stay with the perception of it. Be that open that you have no time for labels. Can you be fully open and label at the same time? You see? You have to close yourself a bit, no? To this is this. It's just that open that you don't have to conclude. You don't have to make names, and that is just the attempt to get a conceptual understanding of what is. What are labels? Just our ideas of conceptual understanding of what is. And then that is we create an addiction to rationalizing everything. We were talking about it the other day. Yeah. If you can see that you can never figure out what is, you can never figure out what is. In no way can you figure out. Is it? It's freedom. Yes. Very good. Open, open, open. Fully open. Good. Very good. Okay. I see. Mhm. My computer stopped responding. It's had enough of satsang. Here you go. I see Lawrence. Lawrence can come. Very good.
This is a very strong attack. It's been going on for 2 days now, so
What is the theme? What is the theme of the attack?
so
Is it relationships or freedom?
no,
Or
it's started out triggered by a series of things, a bit of physical illness, poisoned by water after having done so many things to purify the water. So, and then it was like something breaking down and many efforts to repair it and unable to. So basically non-acceptance of the play, the dynamic play here, and realizing that again, this one having not accepting what is, having expectations of well, you know, in satsangs also it is mentioned very often life is going to become more and more fluid and whatever. And so there is this, truly this was seen this expectation that things were going to get better, but also with the understanding that actually life becomes more fluid when you accept it, when you flow with it in the now.
yeah.
And somehow it keeps crying, and I haven't heard what has been said earlier. I mean, only bits and pieces. It's like such a huge storm here. So, and yet the vision is so clear. It's just can't get out of this.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to hear you on this. I don't know. Just surrendering this, but.
Good, my dear. So that which we think we are, you see, that which we think we are can never accept life. You see, because that which we think we are is a resistance to life in itself. So a resistance cannot be an acceptance. You see? And that which we actually are knows nothing of acceptance or resistance. And that is the conundrum. So I agree with you that spiritual pointings are very confusing and mostly just nonsense, basically, including everything I say from here. So let's see if we can try to make it a bit simpler. You see? So you said something very nice. You said the vision is very clear. You see? Now, in that vision, that which you see yourself to be, what does that have to do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, it's very clear that there is a resistance of this shape taken here that doesn't accept that even though truth is thin,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, the very strong thought here
Yes.
is fed up of that play. Just I'm
Yes.
fed up. Hey, I just don't want to
But
play
the
this
thing
game
is that
anymore. And this I.
but if you notice something, if you notice one thing, and I've noticed this over the years very clearly, is that the ones who had spiritual insight come to a phase where they seem to struggle and suffer more than the ones who have not had spiritual insight. You see?
Yes,
Because the
yes,
ones who had spiritual insight, they also have a lot of spiritual ideas about how their life should change now. Whereas the ones who are not spiritual are not expecting their car not to break down and for their house roof not to leak because they are spiritual now. Because
exactly.
now we are expecting that our life should become more open and accepting, then we are accepting less what is showing up, not accepting more.
Yes, that's it.
You see, it's
That's
a
it.
bit
I look at
subtle.
my family, I look at my brothers, and they don't ask any questions, and it all seems so much easier. And
It's such an irony that once we know that we are supposed to accept life more, we actually end up accepting life less. Because
yes,
your brother and family and my brother and family maybe do not know about this, that they're supposed to accept life, but they're quite okay with things happen. They're just like, okay, things happen, and they get about fixing it. There's no, oh, but then am I accepting this enough, and why am I so closed about this? So there comes this phase where, so what is happening and what is the way out of this? What is happening is that a bit of that shape, the old shape that we thought ourselves to be, remains, you see, and a bit of that insight is there. So both parts are playing out, you see. So what happens is till, and what is happening is that that shape is made up of trying to use the spiritual insight
yes,
to make the life of the shape better. That is the
yes,
only thing it is made up of, you see.
yes,
You see, so this idea, and that's why I keep re-emphasizing this point, that we come to satsang, we come to the truth for truth's sake, not anything else. Mhm.
yeah. But obviously, there is something not accepting this. Hearing it, but
Yeah.
fighting against it.
Yes,
Ugh.
this conclusion is based on the spiritual knowledge that you have. If I was talking to a regular person who is not in spirituality, would not even know how to think this way.
Yes.
You see? So, so I'm going to say something maybe which will come as a shock, but in the end, we have to let go of everything that we know spiritually as well.
Yes.
We
And I know
return.
that.
That's the problem. You see, that exactly is the problem there. So we have to return to the innocence of a child, you see, till the intuitive presence itself starts using this mouth to speak spiritual stuff. You see, till then we just return to a vast innocence which doesn't know spirituality, worldly, nothing, just a simple innocence about everything.
Oh, so there is a need to expose something else.
Yes.
And yeah. There, because this is arrogance and this is that spiritual knowledge. There has been this thing for the past month, like this wanting to help others with that, and even this very strong desire to hold satsang. And when this kind of crisis wasn't there, it was like, and it was seen, but it was really like, oh, leave it far behind, um like to sum it up, yes, I've got it now, or something, or
It's very
and
good to expose it. It's very good to expose it. It's very good to expose it. And I can tell you that it's a very common notion. Now, I want to give you one piece of advice, which is that firstly, I want to give you a blessing that there are so many apparent beings in this world, you see. So the world could do with 1 million more satsang teachers, you see. It could do with many, many, many sharing satsang, you see. So of course my blessing is there. But I also want to give you this piece of advice that the sharing of satsang must happen very organically, very organically.
Yes, but it's obvious when I say that it's very, very clear that it's going to be with blessings, and when it is ready and there is this intuition, it's not ready, but it keeps like coming here, and there was this insight. It was very arrogant, and so the way it's hit me, it's through this printer. Actually, the thing that broke down was a printer, and the message was reading head not appropriate, and I had to comment on this because
I'm sorry, we're laughing. It's funny.
but still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
Just whatever has to happen, and whichever way this instrument called the body mind is going to be used by consciousness, it can all happen from a place of pure innocence.
Yes.
And one final tip I'll give to you is that for some time, just don't know what anything is, and especially don't know why anything is. You see, in the why, in the finding of patterns, in the finding of just for fun, it's okay, of course. But if we're taking them seriously, then we're taking the notion of time seriously. We're taking the notion of causation seriously. You see, so just return to the innocence of a child.
This one keeps interpreting. I mean, it's always here. I know there's this expectation also. I keep hearing about this deep silence, deep silence. I cannot say it's been experienced here. There's no connecting to it, but there's always loads of things, stuff. So this is
So
impatience, right?
I want to say something, which is that I'm happy that you're able to spot any pride or arrogance that comes. But I also want to say that as far as the kind of the extremes of spiritual pride I've seen over the last 8 years of sharing satsang, this one is a very innocent sort of arrogance. So it's not a severe infection, maybe.
Okay. Thank you.
Because the ones who have become really trapped in it would never admit it, would never be open to sharing it in front of satsang, would usually want to discuss it with me privately and say, can I speak to you, and you see something very serious is happening to me. But with your openness, with your innocence, it's not a
It's been
bad infection.
difficult to press the hand today. There has been.
But that's a mild infection, so you're fine. You're fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You're holding my hand all the time.
Always, my dear. Always. Thank you. Thank you. Good.
Thank you.
Okay, Kunwar can come. Kunwar always has some nice, fresh question. I enjoy hearing him very much.
Pranam Guruji, so good to be here. So I just wanted to thank you for a phrase you repeat quite often, that is you see, and that really impacted me because we either think, label, judge, intellectualize, but we don't see, and just seeing without the mind with its conditions, that's it. And it was so profound and really hit me, so it was very, very helpful. So I want to thank you.
So sweet, so sweet. Thank you so much, my dear. It's something that I've inherited from my father, no, from Guruji. And when I'm at work, I don't use the phrase "you see." And sometimes I'm hearing, like I'll put on something, will come on YouTube, and I'll be wondering what did I say? Like sometimes the title will be there, and I don't recall saying it, so I'll put on the video, and every 2 seconds is, you see, and then I'm like, how is anyone hearing this stuff? So I see it happening. Of course, I've taken it like from Guruji and multiplied it by 1,000. Guruji uses it quite appropriately. I am just with everything, you see, sometimes even more. But so strange that at work and things, it's not used. So maybe it is a pointer of sorts.
Yes, because it's almost like a wake up call whenever you are going in the sleep state. It's like a slap on the face, like you see, wake up, you see. So it's really powerful. I really like it actually.
So sweet. Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. Are there a lot of questions on chat? If there's a super solid question, can you post it again? Ah, there's a hand. Who's this? Jyotika. Hello, my dear.
Hello, Father. No, there's sorry about the name. I use it at
No,
work.
fine. That's fine. Completely.
No, there's no question. I just feel like I've not seen you in such a long time, so I just wanted to come and say.
Very good. Very good. Very good. I know
I
that
love
you've
you.
been posting this question, and I feel like I have to respond to it fast, and then I forget about it completely. And then I asked you whether it was fresh, and you said it is fresh, and then again I forgot about answering it. Yeah.
It's okay. It's fine. I feel like it's okay. I mean, you can answer.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to come and say I love you so,
Oh,
and I
I
miss
love it.
you so much.
Same. How is everything there? Parents are good?
Yes, all good, Father. I'll come see you in Bangalore whenever, like in the next 2-3 months. Come down whenever. I mean, whenever anything opens. I don't know.
It's opening already. Things are quite open already. But yeah, a few more weeks, I feel like we should be fine. Mhm.
Okay, I'll go. I'll let anybody else who wants to ask a question.
Well, it's good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you came up like this, and so nice to see you. Very good, my child. Very good. All my love to you, and please wish everyone on my behalf, and come soon. Most importantly,
Yeah,
not few months and all.
yeah, I know. I feel I'm scared to even say that to you because I feel like I want to be there. But yeah, I just want. I thought that I'll come spend some time with mom and dad also. So
We'll see how life opens up. Let's
yeah,
see.
I love you, Father.
You too. Love you, my child. Thank you. Okay, very good, very good. So one question before we go to Etienne, I asked if there was a strong question. One has come. Is open and empty exactly the same as being aware of being aware? Mhm. So exactly the same is like something that the intellect can judge. When you're open and empty, then you don't need to make any of those sort of conclusions. And awareness is always aware, no? Awareness is always aware. So it is not that after coming to satsang, we are able to motivate or inspire some change in the changeless. You see? It is only that we recognize deep in our being its very source, which is unchanging awareness. Yeah. Okay, Etienne first and then Shivoham.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Uh, I am very touched. I'm very happy to, always very happy to and enlightened and made light by you sharing, not enlightened, not enlightened.
It's okay. It's okay.
uh, and it's so precious. And now I'm also I was very touched by the sharing now with Laurent, because
Yeah.
I feel similar things. I mean, similar. We are all everyone is a bit different somehow, but the I was so happy to hear you say. I don't know how you put it. We cannot label anything. We can, without labeling, we have no idea about anything actually, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we cannot grasp anything, and to grasp anything, we have to contract a little bit. And I recognize it so much, and I, whenever I uh, yeah, pretend, and it happens quite often actually. Whenever I pretend to grasp something, actually I go into suffering, and
Yeah.
so um, this wanting to make things better. I've been experiencing it like many
Mm.
people, like all of us, so much, and but as wanting to share, and wanting to yeah, to be helpful. That's what touched me in what Laurent said, to be helpful, not even sharing satsang, but just understanding for the sake of understanding, and for being helpful to oneself.
Yeah.
Sometimes even that is already too much.
Yeah.
So
It's very good. It's very good. It's very, very good.
and
Very.
I just I just feel so cold to let go of this, but uh, I'm very well trained, so it takes some
And
time, and I have to 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 feel, to suffer again and again.
yes, even this you do not know. You see, even this you do not know, but it's a very humble, very sweet report. But everything just empty, empty, empty. You see, empty, empty. What is the biggest help you can give to the world? You see, now it is the Buddha actually who said, grasping is suffering, like you said, no? Grasping is suffering. So Buddha said, grasping is suffering. So if the feeling is there that I am going to bring others to the end of their suffering, first we must come to the end of our grasping. You see? So, and when we are completely open and empty, then this divine presence itself will use the instrument as it sees fit. You see, as it sees fit, because in our mind we don't even know how to be helpful. We don't even know truly what helpful is.
No,
You see, so so it's very beautiful. So some uh, have come to this freedom and consciousness, use their body mind just to sit in a cave quietly. In that way, they did not disturb the world, and they were the most helpful. You see, some are used to express this in some way or the other, and in that way, they're the most helpful. And we cannot predict. You see, we cannot predict. We cannot say. You see, so just, but we can trust. You see, we can trust. We can trust our divine presence to lead this life in the best way possible, and just to be an instrument to allow this body mind to be an instrument to your Sadguru presence is more than enough, more than enough.
Yes, but just as I said, this training is kind of culture I've been receiving. So, of when I heard similar words from Buddha, I heard he said in order to heal or to you must first experience suffering or recognize that you suffer. Otherwise, you cannot. So I took it very, very
Yes,
seriously.
I see, I understand, yes, yes.
Hard and also but it can also feed a spiritual ego because it is then you have to know what is suffering, and then you become a knower of suffering, and then you suffer correctly,
Yes,
So
yes,
that's what I am experiencing quite. Not I mean not so much, but time and again it's quite heavy. I must say, and I'm so grateful for the lightness, the easiness I can share with you, and I think this is the greatest help ever.
thank you.
And yes, I'm very grateful,
Oh, thank you.
very grateful because this seriousness, I said especially for me, but I'm sure it will also be understood in other hearts. This seriousness can, in the West, eh, can be quite something, and I'm just rejoicing sharing it with you now because actually I cannot so there is not we should not make fun about it, but it should not be taken seriously either. So laughing about it is rare and is good and precious.
Very good, my dear. Thank you. Such a
So
beautiful.
I rejoice. I must say my deep gratitude for this climate of 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 joy, of clear looking, not a dramatic, dramatized at all, and I fully enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for such a sweet report. Thank you so much. Okay, Shivoham can come. Thank you. Ah,
Hello,
hello.
Father.
Hello, my love.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Well,
yes. I can hear you very
it's
well.
good?
It's
Yeah.
very good. Better than
Father, yeah.
any audio we've
Huh?
ever set up. It's better than any
Sorry?
audio we've ever set up.
Yeah, I have a new computer now.
I've tried that. It doesn't work.
Father, yeah, I wanted to expose arrogance to, and yeah, this what you were saying before about yeah, the idea of no, when you when you try to grasp on experiences that you had, and this feeling of saying, okay, yes, I know what Father is saying, because I had this experience, and I feel that a lot. And I feel a lot of resistance about around this this and also some shame, some about the fact that I'm not yes, somehow I'm not grasping. I'm not I'm not yet grasping what you're saying. I don't know how to say it well. And there is some shame about saying it loud and or something like that, because okay, you was hearing you are in satsang for a lot of time now, and you still not.
What's happening with you?
Yeah, yeah.
When is it
And
going to happen?
I wanted to
What is
give it to
I
you.
was, I was imitating the Italian, like, when is it going to happen for me?
When? I don't know when. Yes. And yeah. And,
so I feel actually that, like, can you give me an example of what I'm pointing to and you don't have that insight? I don't feel like it is true like this.
Well, for example, the notion of that I have of resting in peace, of resting in myself. It seems that it's not always possible, or it's not always, or there is some thought that is the attention is going to some mind activity, and the impression that I'm not resting in myself, or that I should rest in myself is
Yeah. So for this one, my simple advice is that this identification, momentary identification, you see, can continue to happen. It happens for everyone. You see, it happens for everyone. But first, be rid of this notion that I am not doing good enough. I should be resting in the self more. You see, even that is a notion, isn't it? That I should be resting in the self more.
Yes.
And for spiritual seekers, this is a more oppressive notion than the first notion was. You see, we've spoken about this also in the past, that on the conveyor belt, you see, first is the starter. You see, the starter is coming like a salad or something, and you sometimes you pick it up and it's fine, you see. But the more calories are in the spiritual unworthiness, and I'm not doing it right, and I'm not able to stay as myself. All of this nonsense, first we must be rid of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel those examples.
I'll give you a tip about this, because this is similar to what we were talking earlier with the previous two as well.
Yeah.
If you would not suffer from this, you see, because if you're only suffering from it because you are spiritual now, then forget about it. Like, if you did not know this before you came into spirituality and now that is making you suffer, forget about it. Like, you did not know about resting in yourself before you came into spirituality, and you're feeling bad about it, just leave it. Because it is not helping you. It is that checker guy. You see, it is the checker guy who's using spiritual knowledge to now oppress you in a spiritual way.
Yeah.
So everything you think you're doing wrong, just throw it away. Give it to me. Because this cannot be done wrong. It's impossible to be aware wrong. Like try to be aware wrong. Can any of you do? Like don't be aware wrong. Or just be the being, but do it wrong. Like be the being wrongly. You see? Cannot do it, you see. So all these ideas of right and wrong is what we have to give up. Just be wrong. You see? Your I am itself should naturally just be wrong. Just be wrongly. I don't know a better way to put it. You see? So instead of the presence I am, make it the presence I am not. Can you do it? Like the presence should not be I am, it should be the presence I am not. But it should be presence. You can't do it, you see. So nothing that is being spoken here, you can do it wrong, or you can do it badly, or not enough. You see, none of this. It is just the oppressive aspect of the spiritual ego. You see, wants to make a spiritual image out of you, and
Yeah.
oppressing you in this way. You see, just become natural, like a child, like a baby. Don't worry about any of this. Like, if you're worried about resting in the self, you show me one moment. Like, don't rest in the self and show me. Come out of yourself. Come. Out. No, that is the self. That is the self. Don't rest there. Come out. Nobody can do it. You see? When you identify with the mind, you identified with the mind. When you notice the identification, then don't pick up any guilt or unworthiness. Just it's gone. It's finished. It was the past. It is the graveyard. You don't make any sort of postmortem reports and say, I'm not doing well enough or I am doing very well. None of these are needed. All spiritual report cards, all the spiritual report cards, let me make them. You don't have to make any spiritual report card about yourself, either A plus or D minus or F minus. You don't have to make any of that.
Okay.
You see, that will take away 90% of your suffering, if not 99.9%. For many spiritual actually, our spiritual suffering is more than any other suffering, actually. Relationship, not so much, money, not so much, health of the body, not so much. But this whole spiritual suffering is so much. And we come to spirituality to be free from suffering.
Wow.
Don't worry about yourself in any way, especially not spiritually. Because everything that you can want spiritually already is so. You cannot do it right or wrong. You cannot get to it or let go of it. You see?
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
I love you too, Father.
Love you. Thank you. Okay, I see Shivani next. I don't see her actually. I just see the hand. Oh, now.
Hi, Father.
Hello.
Hello. So I don't know if I can talk now. You said all that. I think I'm doing the same thing.
You're doing that thing.
I think I'm doing the thing too.
We have a club
But
for that. It's called the Sangha. The
well,
club
I'm a
of everyone
lifelong
who's
member.
doing that thing is called the Sangha.
I think it. Yeah. I don't know. All I heard was you say truth for
What
truth's
is the
sake, and then
Australian way to say stop it?
uh,
Not the
um,
Shivani way, all right? I'm saying
I don't know. I don't
it's
know.
okay.
Chill out, mate, or something.
Chill out, man.
Chill out, mate. Um, but
I'll
yeah, you said
I'll
truth,
practice
truth
that
for
later.
truth's sake. I have to say it because it's get it out there.
Yeah.
But the truth for truth's sake thing, right? Every time you say that, it's like
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it just feels like there's no. It just then I feel like a fraud because it's like, well, I'm not here for the truth's sake. I'm here to make things better, like, you know.
Okay. So I gave you this tip before, but I'm going to give it again. And this is
Yeah.
helpful for everyone. Okay. If you hear something in satsang which is causing you guilt or unworthiness or these
Yeah.
kind of things, just throw it away. There are
Yeah.
thousands of other things I say. Focus on those.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
it's not that.
why? But why do you?
No, because it's not guilt. It's not like it's not. It just brings up this like feeling
No,
of
but when
like,
I say I feel like a fraud, that is what I mean by guilt. That is what I mean by
yeah,
unworthiness. You see, just forget about it. I never said it. It's all nonsense.
I know. That's what I was saying. I
Yeah.
think I'm doing it too. It's like I think I'm doing it too. But Father, no,
Yeah.
honestly, apart from the fact that I'm doing it too,
Yeah.
like, is it really like, okay? So because then there's this feeling like, okay, so if I don't just have no reason for this, then I'm coming at this from the wrong angle or something. There's this kind of feeling.
I just
Do you
want
know?
to tell you, you've been with me for 7 or 8 years now, no? 7 or 8 years. You have not got anything useful out of this so far. So obviously you must be in it for the truth. Why would you be here 8 years?
Yeah, well, this is true. because
Unless you are like a super duper eternal optimist that one day I will get something tangible and material out of this thing.
there is an expectation, to be honest with you, Father, to like expose it that
But then you have
things.
tremendous patience. You waited
Yeah.
8 years for some never-ending bliss or something, and it's still not.
I think it's just faith. It's like, yeah, it's just faith. I don't know. It just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Don't
I'm
worry
lost
about
now.
this.
You
It
confused
is
me with the whole forget it thing.
it is the nature of the mind to cling on to that which doesn't seem so resonating. No. Now you
Yeah.
may resonate with 99,000 other things I say, and I know you do, but this one thing bothers you. So
That's
just
why
throw this
I'm.
away. It's okay. It
Well,
doesn't matter. I'm not telling you the truth anyway. Nothing I'm saying is the truth. I
but
wish I
what
could.
is that? Okay, so what is that thing that's like agitated by the truth for truth's sake? Because there's all these things like no, but like the whole motivation was because of being. You know how you used to say, "Father, like what's not to like,"
Yeah,
that sort
exactly.
of thing. And I think I wrote that in a message too about like, well, this personal, not this particular expression isn't like that. It's not like what's not to like. There's heaps not to like. It's aggressive.
I
It's
have
like
looked for 8 years.
attacks.
I have not found anything like that, and I'm
Oh
pretty
no,
good.
that's what you say, but you haven't seen it, Father.
Oh, so I have a list. You come to
Yeah.
Bangalore, no? As soon as things open out, and the invitation
Yeah.
is for Mike as well. He knows that, so you come and don't worry about anything. Just come.
Okay.
Until then,
But
don't trouble yourself for any spiritual reason. same advice as with Shivoham.
I
Like this
know.
whole
This is
idea that
why.
I'm doing this wrong, this whole idea that I could be doing this wrong is just nonsense, you see. I'm not worthy, I'm doing this wrong, I'll never get it. What is he talking about? You see, just leave it. The last one you can keep because even I don't know what I'm talking.
It's just the thing that the thing that it bugs, the fact that it bugs me, this true for truth's sake, is bugging me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know. Like, I don't want to talk about
I've
like.
never said this thing. What is this truth for truth's sake? I have never said this thing.
You know, like you just it's truth. I don't know. You said it tonight.
Really? I have no idea what you're saying.
Okay.
It must be some
Right.
problem with this with the speaker.
I'll forget about it. I just really wanted to because it keeps coming up, Father. I just wanted to like. I don't know.
Okay, so in your case, you're looking for truth because of?
Because the expression isn't like what's not to like. It's
You're looking
I
for
don't-
to make the expression more likable.
no, just less suffering for everyone. Like
You're looking for the truth
for
so
the
that you can suffer less. Yes, that's what I've always said. We must look
to
for the
be
truth so that we can suffer less.
and to be less of a, you know, because like there's a remembrance of being a kid and being innocent and being all that nice stuff,
Yeah,
and then this change into this horrible,
yeah,
aggressive, attacking,
yeah.
tantrum throwing thing, right? So then
So,
there's this
so truth,
motivation to go, you know, for that to not to be like that, right?
yes. So
And that
truth
seems
for the end of suffering and for the expression to be very sweet and likable.
well, it's
Yeah,
not likable. It's more like there's a sadness and a grief about harming and about hurting and about being one of those expressions in the world. It's like that. It's like this feeling of like sadness about it.
maybe you just cut out to be like a future master like Nisargadatta Maharaj or something. You're just like chopping everyone.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, that's just what the agitation comes from because it's like, well, this, I don't really want, there's something that doesn't want this to continue on to be this
Yeah.
kind of
Maybe
expression
it is
because it's,
not wanting to be like that which energizes that.
yeah, probably.
It is
Yeah.
bound to be that way. No, if you keep something is just wanting to go and you're saying no, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. That sort of presses the spring even more, and then boom.
Father, it's really bad though. Like you say, I've never seen it. You're so sweet, Dadia. You don't see it,
I
Father.
didn't
Like
go
it's
that far,
not
but
good. You do. That's what. Like that's how, you know. That's how you're like. Oh, what? Your kids are hiding in the cupboard. What's going on? You know, like it's really bad. I mean, there's a few in the sangha who've seen it. You know, I can tell you. Yeah. So that's why that thing kind of pushes something. It's like, oh.
okay. So let's try another way. Now you've tried to deal with this for a long time. I know this. You tried to deal with it for a long time. Now, are you willing to let it be my problem?
Only fix it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You want to surrender it with one eye open, huh?
Uh,
I'm giving it to you, but do a good job.
yeah.
Don't mess this up.
I, it's I don't know, Father. It's so hard to accept. It's like if someone was a murderer or a rapist or something, and you're saying, and they're in satsang, and they're like, you know, I go out and I do this when I'm not in satsang. Would you say to them, look, you know,
Actually, in India, we have
it's
many
true for truth's
examples
sake.
of many former criminals who then
Yeah.
repented and became sages, and some of our greatest sages have quite a history behind them. So you don't know what any of this is for. Just chill out, mate.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm not making this stuff up, okay? I mean, usually I am, but this one especially I'm not making up.
Well, you know I trust you, Father, so if you
Huh?
say so. You said, you know, I
Yeah,
said, you know I trust you, so if you say so, then
yes. This is true actually. We have some
I say yes.
good examples. You know, we can even send you because,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, that would be good. Send me,
I'll make
please.
sure that you can send me.
Yeah. Okay.
You come to Bangalore soon.
Yes. Yeah. I gotta renew my passport. Yeah. As soon as I
Good,
can, I'll be there.
good. Okay,
All
very
right.
good. I
Thank you,
feel so
Father.
refreshed and alive. I feel like I can start satsang again now. I just needed to banter with my sister for a bit, you know.
Yeah. I love you, Father. Thank you.
Thank Okay, the hands. Zainab, Zainab, sorry, my dear. Is that right,
Yes.
Zainab? Zainab?
Yes.
Good, good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I want to be just in your attention,
Mhm.
and I'm offering it up all the time when I'm on my own, but I want to offer it in your presence. The belief in being a separate entity and being a separate body, mind, I want to offer it up in your presence also.
That's a big, that's a big prayer you make. That's a big prayer you make, and it's accepted here wholeheartedly. Know that with this prayer, what you're saying is all that you want, all that you think you are right about, everything that relates to this egoic identity, you're offering it up at the
Yes,
feet
I
of
do.
your divine presence. Very good, very good, very good. May it
And
be so.
thank you for sharing this satsangs, Anantaji. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. I see you almost every time, so I'm very grateful that you're here. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
thank you, my child. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear. Okay, we have Madalena next. Hello.
Namaste, thank you. Um,
How is it that your background keeps changing every
uh,
time?
I moved from my bedroom to
I see, I
to the
see,
living room
I see, I
when
see.
the kids go to bed.
What is this painting behind you? Behind your head, what is the
But
painting?
it's Muji
Ah,
Baba's
this is yeah, Saint Francis.
San Francis. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have Muji Baba's blessings here.
Oh, look at that. It's very sweet.
Yeah, it is very
Yeah.
sweet. Oh, and we also have Jesus and Saint Mary. Um, I wanted to expose that I realized there was this arrogance uh, in me after surrendering to you my expectations about Anna's therapy that you're going to do a good job or
Ah,
better
yes.
than mine.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I could put a deadline to it, I'd be happy to. So, uh, maybe, yeah, kind prayer that this burns out. Um, and please guide me from inside on my actions.
Very good, very good, very good. Yes, thank you, thank you. Thank you for spotting this, you see, spotting this tendency, which is very common actually, very common, and it is maturity to be able to spot that, you see, because mostly when we are looking for a master, we are looking for a servant, you see, but we don't notice it right up front. We notice it after some time, but it's good to spot. It's very sweet. Good, good. And your intuitive presence is always there for you, guiding you, you see, and as you are letting go of your um, conceptual mind, just naturally more and more you'll be guided by your intuitive presence. Thank you.
And thank you to my brothers and sisters who are sharing in the satsang, because it's such a great blessing. And yeah,
Very good, very good.
and thank you for bringing my mind to heart during this time, I think. And yeah, more and more.
All my love, all my blessings to you, my dear.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay, I see Sida. Sida can come next. Also Saskia. It's going to be a long satsang, looks like. It's fine.
Hello.
Hello, my dear.
Um, I'm hearing my own voice inside.
That's it. That's
Also,
it.
you are hearing too, no?
Huh?
Excuse me, Father. I have to.
Oh, there was an echo.
Yes. Okay. It was open in computer too because I'm in workplace, and for to speak with you, I have come to the little kitchen space. So I don't know, but after you spoke with Lawrence about this arrogance, just immense burning has come up. And actually, I don't know what is arrogance, maybe in just terms. And I don't know, I never look within for this even. I don't know, I cannot say if I have or not, but I don't know, just immense burning about arrogance here. And I just want to, I had to bring it to you. And yeah, just this. And actually, in my case, I feel like it was playing as the other side of the coin, you know, like not, I always think like arrogance is same with superiority. I always take it like this, but also Guruji say the other side of the coin is maybe inferiority. And in my case, because it was playing like this, I have a tendency to think like I don't have arrogance or something. Actually, I didn't think, but anyway, just I really just too much burning about this now, and I just want to come up and yeah, actually if there is any, or you are the one who can spot it, and I don't know, I want to apologize somehow.
It's fine. It's fine, my dear. It's all fine. Don't worry. So I don't feel like you have some big infection of arrogance or something like that. It's fine. It's fine. The simplest definition of arrogance is any idea of separation. You see, the idea that I can separate myself from the one being, God, or the one consciousness itself is arrogance. So, and we are here in satsang because all of us are afflicted to some extent or the other, isn't it? So we are here in satsang to get rid of this arrogant idea that I separated in some way, you see, that I separated from God, that there is a me and there's a you, or there's a me and there's a world, or a me and there is God. So, and what happens is that to admit in this world that I am God, that sounds like arrogance, you see. But actually, it is the simplest truth, because we are not saying I, as the body mind, am specially God or something like that. No, some say that, and that is arrogance, of course. But when you come to the simple recognition of one beingness, of one reality, you see, then it's very natural to say that I am. I am. You see? So, that I am something other than I am is the primal arrogance which all of the human condition is afflicted by. And that is why we play this game of satsang, to come to the end of that. You see? So I don't feel like in your case you have like too much arrogance or spiritual arrogance or something like that. In fact, you're very sweet and innocent and very open. You're fine. You're fine.
One time, actually, you have pointed out arrogance when I wrote something to you, and it was like my intention was just to earn your love, just intention was like this, but you pointed out it as arrogance, not my intention, but what has been written. So yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to tell this. And also Guruji spoke about this too, like in Papaji case, he was intending to finish the meal soon and like doing a favor. And I still don't know exactly the arrogance in it, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe you can clear this up, and you already done so. Okay. Thank you.
Good, my dear.
Thank you.
Love, love, love. Thank you. Mhm. Let's see this one.
Radhe Radhe
Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. Guru Kripa Kevalam.